pieces, and some of them are a little bit boxy. You can see I quite like my boxy style of shirt or blouse, and some of them are just really nice subtle pieces that can go with just about anything. Let's begin. I found that when finding patterns online, which is mostly where I search for things going in the store, that if I'm going to buy a PDF pattern and have it printed, the most cost-effective place for you to buy that PDF pattern is straight from the pattern maker. But if you want to buy it in the paper format, the most cost-effective way is to go to your nearest pattern seller rather than paying shipping. So I will put links below. Pretty much all the links will be to the site of the pattern maker. These first two patterns that I've chosen are from a woman called Sarah in Canada and her pattern company called Sewing Therapy. The first blouse, I will talk about some pictures. The first blouse is called the Fora Top Dress. It is formed on a Romette, an oversized blouse that blends vintage elegance with modern day simplicity. It features a deep V-neck neckline and a distinctive contemporary sailor collar. This design uniquely balances structure with fluidity. The subtle drop shoulders and dramatic pleated sleeves enhance the oversized silhouette, creating a voluminous yet graceful look that drapes beautifully over the body. When I'm looking for a new pattern, before I choose it, I also go onto Instagram and type in the hashtag for that blouse so I can see what other people like myself have made with that pattern. And it always surprises me the different fabrics that people choose to make their blouses or dresses with. And I also really like seeing that pattern on different body types. So I can see it with people who have larger busts, or like me, quite large hips and thighs, but are smaller up top. So I recommend that's what you do. Go onto Instagram or do like a Google image search and have a look at the images that you find, as well as the pattern company ones that I'll put up here, and see if you think it's going to suit you and get inspired by what other people have done with that pattern as well. I like that first blouse pattern from Sewing Therapy, but I love this second one. Please excuse me looking down, I'm just reading from my laptop. This is called the Faux Collar Oversized Button-Down Shirt and Dress Pattern by Sewing Therapy. And I actually purchased this one and I'm looking forward to making it up. When you go onto Etsy, which is where I found these two patterns from Sewing Therapy, if you scroll down into the reviews, quite a few people pop in images of what they've made when they've made their review. And I liked the creators, or the person who created the sewing pattern, I liked their versions of this pattern, but I really loved one of the reviewers' photos that they put in. And that's what made me buy the pattern, because it was just so sweet. They used two different types of red fabrics, and they just went so well together, and it was just really fresh as well as sweet, and I went, I think that's a pattern for me. So this pattern is a cropped tucked style. It's for confident beginners to intermediate. You can make it as a dress or a shirt/blouse. So it features a faux collar because it just gives the appearance of the collar at the front. It doesn't actually go all the way around. It's just attached to the front panel. It has an oversized fit. It is a button down with buttons going down the front. which gives it the look of a traditional shirt. It has an inverted pleat on the back bodice and roll up tabs on the sleeve, so you can have them quite long, kind of down to the elbow, or you can roll it up and pull up the tab and button it up. Anyway, I just really liked the details on this pattern. It looked really sweet. You could do it many different ways, but it would go with many different other garments in your wardrobe as well. The third blouse I have to share with you today is from a French pattern company called P&M Patterns. The blouse is spelled M-O-M-E, but I think it's pronounced Maymay. Anyway, it's got so many different variations. All of the patterns I'm sharing with you today have some sort of variation, so you can make it, tweak it and make it your own. I just love the details. When I pop in the pictures, you'll be able to see how many different variations you can do with this one pattern. I also really like that if you go to the P&M Pattern website, they have lots of inspiration for all their patterns, but also for this one I can see they've got a tutorial, and they've got a separate tutorial for the dress pattern to the plain shirt or blouse pattern. So the pattern says that it's if you leave out the zipper, it's a beginner friendly pattern, but if you use the zipper, then it's an intermediate pattern. Mome is a stylish blouse that can be worn the whole year round. The pattern is modular with about 92 different versions you can sew. It has ruffles or without ruffles. A narrow ruffle, a large ruffle, a double ruffle. You can use the different collars or have it collarless. So there's a pointed, a round, or a Victorian collar. I really like the look of the Victorian collar. You can have it with sleeves, short sleeves, 3/4 sleeve, long sleeves, or no sleeves at all. You can have it with cuffs, with no cuff, with frills, without frills, slim fitting or loose fitting, with a sash or without the sash. I quite like it without the sash. There's a back opening. You can use a hook and eye or a zipper, so that's up to you, and the zipper is the only technical difficulty you may encounter. So with the 92 different versions, this means you can sew the pattern many times without getting tired of it, and mix and match till you find the perfect one for you. So I have actually purchased this pattern, and I'm looking forward to one day getting around to it. Hopefully soon. April is kind of the month of patterns, the month of blouse patterns, so I'm getting a bit inspired. The next two patterns are patterns by Pauline Alice. I really like her style of patterns. They're really pretty, but also really comfortable and functional. A little bit whimsical, a little bit maybe old style with some frills and high necks and things like that. But like I said, really functional and comfortable as well. So the first blouse is called the Coeli Blouse. I do have this blouse pattern in my stash. I've cut out the size that I want, but I haven't chosen the material for it yet. This is a loose smock silhouette with shoulders, with a shoulder yoke and wide horizontal knife pleats. It has a high collar and billowing sleeves gathered into cuffs. It's just got beautiful details. It has a self-tie in the back and small buttons to close the collar and to close the cuffs. And I will add the beautiful versions that are from the Pauline Alice website, because they are really lovely. The second pattern from Pauline Alice is called the Fora Top Dress. This is not a dress that I would actually choose, or blouse, a blouse that I would choose to make for myself, but I do think it's really lovely and really unique. So the Fora pattern doubles up as a short sleeve top and a sleeveless dress. Both views feature front and back princess cut on an A-line shape, cinched in at the waist with ties and D-rings. A little bit different, explore your skills a little bit there. The back neckline is closed with a hook and eye. The View B dress has a central inseam pocket. Something a little bit different. You could really play around with stripes as they've done in the inspirational pictures here, but any sort of textured fabric, I think, with all these blouses would really make them quite statement pieces, because all these patterns just have beautiful, beautiful details. The next blouse pattern is called the Matcha Top pattern by Sew Liberated Patterns. I have seen many variations of this type of really oversized kind of peasant-y blouse from lots of different pattern companies, but this one has actually been around for quite a while, and they always do such beautiful versions of it on Sew Liberated. And I really like supporting Sew Liberated pattern company because they have such a great ethos about slow sewing, about not overproducing, enjoying what you sew, and really taking pleasure and joy in wearing your me-made garments as well. The Matcha Top pattern is an easy, swinging, easy to sew top with a stunning stand neckline, designed to highlight your gorgeous collarbone and draw the eyes up to your face. It leaves your waist free to move around comfortably. It also has 3/4 sleeves, so you can have your hands free, your wrists free to wear jewelry, whatever you like. Maybe you could layer it, maybe you could wear it in the cooler months with some light linen fabric as well. I do have this pattern and it's 3/4 made. One of my favorite pattern companies is Mercahnt and Mills, and I have chosen 2 of their blouse patterns here. Nearly all of their blouses can also be extended into dresses. I think Mercahnt and Mills is quite underrated. Their patterns are so simple and stylish. You could just make them up in an absolute plain fabric, so all the details just look absolutely schmick and stand out, or you could go super duper bold with a very loud or very bright fabric and make them real statement pieces in that way as well. The first blouse I've chosen is one I've actually never seen other people speak about, but I just love its simplicity and its really simple lines. I think they're quite beautiful. It's called the Box Top or Dress. So dress it up or down, this boxy top or dress is going to be an essential wardrobe addition. The front pleat detail is enough to make this design stand out. The simple Rolu loop neck closure reflects the simplicity of the silhouette. And I'll pop in the pictures. You can see how lovely it is, and I think it would be truly very comfortable to wear because it doesn't pull in on the body anywhere. It would just sit really nicely. One thing I do have to say about Mercahnt and Mills patterns is always check your arm measurements. They do seem to make quite a slim arm, and I've had them be a little bit tight, and then I've had to go back and just widen the arm a little bit. Not actually the shoulder, but as the arm comes down. And I've not had that problem with other pattern companies, so do be aware of those measurements. The second blouse pattern from Mercahnt and Mills that is my suggestion for you today is called the Celeste top. I have actually recently purchased this from Mercahnt and Mills and then had it printed out in AO. Now the advantage of buying the PDF and having it printed as an AO pattern is that if you do the wrong size, cut it out incorrectly, you haven't spoilt your whole pattern, and you can just have it reprinted and get on with the business instead of mourning the loss of an entire pattern. And if you lose it, you've got the digital version and you can reprint that. This is only a blouse. It doesn't come in the dress version. You could, of course, attach like maybe a gathered skirt at the bottom. I think this is just going to go with many things and just look really simple and elegant, but again be really comfortable to wear, which is the Mercahnt and Mills strength. So the Celeste top is a feminine blouse with back buttons and gentle gathers into a waistband, and that's all the description they have. They suggest lightweight fabrics, lightweight woven fabrics. When I looked at the pattern, I will start with a lightweight woven fabric, but I actually think this could be in heavier fabrics or denims as well, and you could layer it or extend the sleeves for warmer, for cooler weather where you want to use the warmer fabrics. Anyway, this is probably the plainest pattern that I've picked for today, but it's actually one of my favorites because I think it would suit multiple people. I'm looking forward to making it actually. Another one of my favorite pattern companies is called the Assembly Line. Again, they have really simple silhouettes, but the patterns themselves have absolutely beautiful details. The first top I've got to recommend is probably the most well known out of all these patterns. It's called the front pleated shirt. Yes, just checking that. That is what it's called, the front pleat shirt. The front pleat shirt has a cropped boxy shape. I do love a boxy fit. 2 angled front pleats. Love them. They come out from here and they're really quite large in statement. V-shaped back pleat and short sleeves that can be rolled up. The pattern includes extension pieces to both lengthen the shirt and sew it with a hidden button placket. And you can also use the Assembly Line collar extension pattern if you want to add that to it as well. And this is one of the harder ones. Requires intermediate skills. I think with most independent pattern companies though, if you are willing to just go slowly and read the instructions really carefully, you can definitely do this. Independent pattern companies usually have very good instructions that go step by step with loads of help with either online tutorials in video format or detailed images as well. So the front pleat shirt, I do also have this pattern and have not made this one up yet, so I guess today's list of blouses is a bit of a Rebecca wish list. The second blouse pattern from the Assembly Line that I'm recommending is called the Bow Blouse. This is not simple. This is quite over the top with a beautiful high neckline, beautiful long cuffs, and a large bow at the front. But this pattern is so clever. The bow at the front is actually a separate piece that you can attach with a little button at the back. So you can either add the bow tie and keep it in place with the little button, or you can leave it off entirely for a really simple, just beautiful high neck shirt. Now, I like the inspiring pictures that the Assembly Line have put in, but I think this blouse pattern is a little bit over the top with the large bow, and I would just go over the top with my fabric as well. Something really big, either a bright bold color or something big pattern, big floral pattern or something, I think would make it really wow. The Bow blouse is versatile with a classic shape. It features bust darts and a standing collar where you can attach a tie with buttons to the back. The sleeves end with pleats to create a puff and close with button cuffs. So the pictures, they use a silk fabric, so it's very fancy. I will not be using silk, but I will be using something big and bold when I finally make this pattern. that is all of the blouse recommendations I have for you today. They're my picks of things that are inspiring me at the moment. If you want to tell me the one that you like best, or if you've got a recommendation for me, I'd love to hear it. I do have one more little suggestion. If you are not ready to make your own blouse, but you want to do something like upcycle, maybe you have something that you already love, but it's become a little bit boring or a little bit worn, or you found something terrific in an op shop and you just want to do something a little bit with it, you can always take something that you already have and improve it or make it more to your style by doing something easily with a sleeve, adding or taking off the sleeve, adding or taking off the length, just a straight line, adding a ruffle, or chopping a bit off and making it a crop style. You could also easily dye the fabric if it's making you look a bit washed out or something and you really like the style. Dye it. That's really easy and only takes a couple of hours. You could also look up a little pattern or get a little pack from somewhere of an embroidery pattern and sit and put a cool little embroidery motif on a collar, on a cuff, or all over the back of some blouse and make it a really special piece. So there's lots of things you can do with a small piece of fabric, a large piece of fabric, a brand new pattern, or something that you already have and just want to refresh. I hope you enjoy the ideas that I presented today, and I hope you're having a great week. I'll talk to you again soon.